I just realized this. But Ian, one of our friends, Ian Bear Pig, he said slap the like button, which means he knows. See, I take my glasses off. It's a way of thinking deeper, I guess. I don't know, guys. Try to get everything out of my eyes, but I figure you enjoy watching this, I guess. Um, he knows. He knows about Davey 504. Slap the like button. Italian voice reveal at 4 million subs. Slap the like button. It is a sound effect every time. He edits his videos. I don't know how long it takes him to do the edits that he does. I mean, they're not massive, but I'm sure a few hours. These videos aren't that long, but still, it's whatever. Man, day-old coffee can still taste good. French press. Anyway, where am I? What's going on? Okay. All right, so here's the deal. Wow. Okay, dude. Just gave it away. So I was complaining about how I couldn't put my I didn't get the right parts for my grill. I got a grill off of Amazon. I definitely didn't get the right parts. And I was just sending them pictures, and I was just like, bro, y'all didn't give me the right parts. I just want to put the rest of the thing together. And I guess it just turns out that it's easier for these people to just give me my money back. Because that's what they just did. You know, y'all don't have to pretend with your name either, people. People on Amazon, if you ever watch this video, and you are from India, or you are from China, or any other place across the ocean, guys, we want to see your name. I mean, maybe unless it's in the Middle East, and then you probably should go with a name like Steve. But like, what's a name? Mona, or like you all are thinking of Moana probably from the Hawaiian name, right? But Mona, that's an Indian name. Um, why am I forgetting these ladies' names that I knew? Um, Jennifer is just not a Chinese name, though. I mean, if your name is Jishuan, then go with Jishuan. Like, just because Americans can't pronounce it doesn't mean they don't want to see it. It's about authenticity. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for the refund. You know, I still want to figure out how to put the shelf together, but I guess that refund will help me figure that out. So I've got a day or two to submit my application to re-up my whole income-based repayment. That's important. I have to take care of that today or tomorrow. Cool. Thank you. Little things. Anyway, alright, so, where was I? Alright, listen. Now, you can't see the title yet. But, there is... I'm gonna change the title after I'm done. There's this thing that I don't yet quite understand. That the theme of my dreams the recurring nature of it is troubling. So I'm in the back. I'm behind a building in a parking lot, kind of in a drive-through situation. Cars are constantly coming through, 3 to 5 miles an hour, very slowly, but they're coming through constantly. And for reasons that obviously don't make any sense, my 3-year-old son has a little toy setup going on. Where he's taking one of the toys was a weird... It wasn't a frisbee, but it was like a frisbee. Anyway, he's taking it, he's throwing it, rolling it, doing the thing, whatever, trying to play with it, and going to get it. And I think there was a ball. So, what was weird is a car would come up, it would stop behind him, he'd throw the ball or frisbee. If it was a successful throw or whatever, then the car would actually proceed around him. If it was unsuccessful, it had to wait for the retrieval. And everybody was doing a pretty good job of that. While he was playing in a parking lot, this is the recurring dream. So he would one of those times, this guy had stopped and got out of his car, come talk and help and stuff. So I have my son by the hand, then I don't have my son by the hand. And for some reason, I grabbed this guy's hand. He's like about to leave, and I was supposed to be grabbing my son's hand to keep him safe. I mean, I let go pretty much immediately, but by that time, my son had run towards the next car that was driving. I chase him down, I get him, everything's fine. But the point is, if you are, probably not, because I'm not a great storyteller, but if you're experiencing any anxiety at all from hearing that story, that's what the entire series of dreams is all about. So obviously, Doesn't make sense to be playing in a parking lot. Or many other things that happen in dreams. But, I certainly don't like it. Sometimes I think, my dreams are just to teach me. You know, they're to prepare me. They're to help me out, know what to do in certain situations. It's like training. I don't believe that's always the case. I think sometimes our dreams are there to test us in different ways. Ways that we ought not even entertain. So anyway, it's fascinating. It's troubling. I've got a big old day of work. Two different ways today. Going to be working on the house. Going to be working on the computer. Going to work it out. Anyway, still a little raw from the dream stuff. I'm a little tired too. Tell you what. So let's spark this day with something good. And the first thing I see is the word weep and lament, so that means it's gotta be good. Alright? Come now, you rich people. Weep aloud and lament over the miseries, the woes, that are surely coming upon you. It's a great start, guys. Great start. Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't have done better if I had tried. Your abundant wealth is rotted and is ruined, and your many garments have become moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are completely rusted through, and their rust will be testimony against you, and it will devour your flesh as if it were fire. You have heaped together treasure for the last days. But look, here are the wages that you have withheld by fraud from the laborers who have reaped your fields, crying out for vengeance. And the cries of the harvesters have come to the ears of the Lord of hosts. Here on earth you have abandoned yourselves to soft, prodigal living, and to the pleasures of self-indulgence and self-gratification. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and have murdered the righteous, innocent man, while he offers no resistance to you. So be patient, brethren, as you wait till the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits expectantly for the precious harvest from the land. See how he keeps up his patient vigil over it until it receives the early and late rains. So you also must be patient. Establish your hearts, strengthen and confirm them in the final certainty. For the coming of the Lord is very near. Do not complain, brethren, against one another, so that you yourselves may not be judged. Look, the judge is already standing at the very door. As an example of suffering and ill treatment together with patience, brethren, Take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord as his messengers. You know how we call those blessed, happy, who were steadfast, who endured. You have heard of the endurance of Job, and you have seen the Lord's purpose, and how he richly blessed him in the end. Inasmuch as the Lord is full of pity and compassion and tenderness and mercy. But above all things, my brethren, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth, or by any other oath. But let your yes be a simple yes, and your no be a simple no, so that you may not sin and fall under condemnation. Is anyone among you afflicted, ill-treated, suffering evil? He should pray. Is anyone glad at heart? He should sing praise to God. Is anyone among you sick? It's raining. Speaking of praying, guys, say a prayer. Oh, good morning, Robert. Seriously, pray. We need dry to do work. I mean, we can work in the rain, I guess, but it's not ideal. It would be much more ideal for us to work in dry. I mean, we can't go on the roof at all if it's wet. It's just retarded to go on roofs when it's wet. But yeah, it would be much more ideal if we could have it dry, guys. So just until we're done with the work, you know. It's not fun to climb up and down a ladder when it's wet, guys. Say some prayers, please. Let me read this comment. I know the Amplified Bible bothers a lot of people. But yes, I love James for a lot of different reasons, and I love the way that you put it. The Sermon on the Mount with Proverbs. Yeah, maybe that's why. Man, glasses are super dirty. Maybe that's why I love James so much. It's funny. Oh no, the Amplified. It has its pros and cons. I think the Amplified Bible is good for people that are like labeled as ADD, even though that's not a real thing. So anyway, where am I at? Is anyone among you sick? He should call in the church elders, the spiritual guides. They should pray over him, anointing him with oil in the Lord's name. And the prayer that is of faith will save him who is sick, and the Lord will restore him. And if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Confess to one another, therefore, your faults, your slips, your false steps, your offenses, your sins. And pray also for one another, that you may be healed and restored. It's like hand-holding. That's the way I think of the Amplified Bible. When you're tired, when you're worn out, when you can hardly focus on anything at all, the Amplified Bible is there to hold your hand through each and every moment. And it's just a hand-holdy kind of. It's just hand-holdy. And I like that. Sometimes I'm just tired and worn out, and anyway, I like it. Sometimes, whatever, you know, I need something else. You may be healed and restored to a spiritual tone of mind and heart. The earnest, heartfelt, continued prayer of a righteous man makes tremendous power available, dynamic in its working. Elijah was a human being with a nature such as we have, with feelings, affections, and constitution like ours, and he prayed earnestly for it not to rain. Hey, Elijah, help me out, bro. And no rain fell on the earth. I mean, 3 years and 6 months is a little too long for me, but we love the rain, just not when we're trying to work on the house. But anyway, and then he prayed again. The heavens supplied rain, and the land produced its crops, as usual. My brethren, if anyone among you strays from the truth and falls into error, and another person brings him back to God, let the latter one be sure that whoever turns a sinner from his evil course will save that one's soul from death, and will cover a multitude of sins, procure the pardon of the many sins committed by the convert. What a strange final verse. But still, obviously, the consequences for leading someone astray versus helping turn someone away from their sin, pretty obvious. So, anyway, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Kids, guys, kids. Oh boy. Tired. Some dreams wear you out more than others. And the dreams where you're constantly trying to protect your kids. Those are some tough dreams. Tell you what. Tell you what. Well, anyway, my mind is all over the place now. Just bouncing. So I need to hit up my work. Be about it. I had no intro this morning. No fancy stuff. I had to just get right into it. Sometimes you just gotta get right into it. So, today is Monday, and it's a holiday for lots of people, I guess. And depends on what industry you're in, I suppose. Have a restful day, even if you're at work. It's all good. Alright, as always, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength,